You know, there's something that's been on my mind lately, how often we tell ourselves, I'll do it tomorrow. Whether it's reaching out to someone we love, chasing a dream, or even getting right with God, we push things off, assuming we have all the time in the world. But the truth is, we don't. The Bible has a lot to say about this, and today we're going to explore why it's so important to live with urgency, to not put off for tomorrow what you can do today. Let's dive into it. Let's start with a simple truth. We don't know what tomorrow holds. I think we've all had moments where we realized how quickly life can change. James 4:14 puts it plainly, "Why you do not even know what will happen tomorrow." What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. Think about that for a moment. Our lives are like a mist here one moment and gone the next. I know it sounds a little heavy, but this isn't meant to scare us. Instead, it's a reminder to live intentionally, to make the most of each day God has given us. Jesus actually told a powerful story about this in Luke 12:16-21. It's the parable of the rich fool. There was this man who had a great harvest, so much so that his barns couldn't hold it all. So he thought to himself, I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones. Then I'll have plenty of grain stored up for many years. I can take life easy, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, "You fool! This very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself?" This man thought he had all the time in the world, that he could wait until tomorrow to enjoy life and focus on what really matters. But he ran out of time before he could do any of that. The message is clear. We can't afford to wait to live out our purpose. Whether it's pursuing our calling, showing love to others, or drawing closer to God, tomorrow isn't promised. So what does this mean for us? It means that every day is a gift, a chance to grow, to love, to make an impact. In Ephesians 5:15-16, Paul gives us this advice. Be very careful then, how you live not as unwise but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. We're encouraged to make the most of every moment. Instead of waiting until tomorrow to share kindness, or start a new chapter, or spend time with God, we should do it today. God gives us each new day as a fresh opportunity, and He wants us to use it to the fullest. Let's be honest. Procrastination is something we all struggle with, right? It's easy to say, I'll pray later, or I'll start working on that dream tomorrow. But here's the thing, procrastination can be one of the enemy's sneakiest traps. He knows that if we keep pushing things off, we might never get around to them. In 2 Corinthians 6:2, Paul says, I tell you, now is the time of God's favor, now is the day of salvation. This verse shows us that the time to act is now, not tomorrow, not next week, but today. God is always ready for us to turn to Him, to start fresh, to step into what He's calling us to do. So don't let the enemy convince you that you have endless tomorrows to do it. So, what are some things we shouldn't wait on? Here are a few that come to mind. Mending relationships. Is there someone in your life you've been meaning to reach out to? Don't wait. The Bible tells us to live in peace with one another, Romans 12:18. And sometimes that means taking the first step, even when it's hard. Chasing your God-given dreams. If there's something God has placed on your heart, start today. Whether it's serving others, pursuing a new direction, or sharing your faith, begin now, even if it's just a small step. Getting right with God. If you've been feeling distant from God, don't wait for the perfect moment to reconnect with Him. Start today by spending time in prayer, reading His Word, and letting Him guide you. Psalm 90:12 says, Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. It's a reminder that our days are limited, and we need God's wisdom to use them well. I want to leave you with this thought. God isn't waiting for tomorrow to start working in your life. He's already moving today. Sometimes we get so focused on the future that we miss what God is doing right now. Matthew 6:34 tells us not to worry about tomorrow, because each day has enough trouble of its own. So instead of waiting for some perfect time in the future, let's embrace the moments we have right now. Let's trust that God will meet us in today and guide us toward His purpose. Before we wrap things up, I just want to take a moment to talk about something really important. You know, life is full of distractions and it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day hustle. But every once in a while, we all need that reminder, something that pulls us back to what really matters. That's what we're trying to do here on this channel. If you've enjoyed today's message, if you felt inspired to stop waiting and start living out God's purpose for your life, then I want to invite you to be a part of this community by hitting the subscribe button. Why? Because every week we dive deeper into God's Word, discovering lessons that can truly change the way we live. And it's not just about gaining knowledge, it's about finding ways to apply these teachings to our everyday lives, helping us grow in faith, hope, and love. When you subscribe, you're joining a community of people just like you, people who want to make the most of their time, people who are seeking God's guidance, and people who want to live with purpose. Together, we can encourage one another to live boldly for Christ, to overcome challenges, and to trust in God's plan for our lives, even when things get tough. By subscribing, you're also helping spread this message to others who need it. Maybe there's someone out there right now feeling lost, procrastinating on their calling, or waiting for a sign to make a change. Your support can help them find this message, and you never know how God can use that to transform a life. So if you're looking for a place to grow spiritually, to be encouraged, and to deepen your relationship with God, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's walk this journey together, learning more about God's incredible plans for us and how we can make every moment count. Thanks for being here, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. God bless.